What was the name of the fourth book of Moses? I think it was Leviticus. No, Numbers. According to Numbers, it's the last. How many chapters are there in the first epistle to the Thessalonians? 3? No, 5. Who became Ahasuerus queen and later saved the Jews in the kingdom from being killed? Ruth? Esther? Who is the mother of Jacob and Esau? Leah? Rebecca? Which actually, the name Rebecca doesn't stem from Jewish names. It actually is a, I think, Germanic name originally. There's something that has to do with the double C's, but they changed the names. There's this whole thing about where names come from. Like Thomas was a name that couldn't possibly have existed in that time, because the name Thomas came from a Roman variant, and then there's another one about Paul was a Germanic name as well, and like all these other names that couldn't have existed as actual biblical names. Where was John when he received the revelation? Because John is an original Jewish name, actually. You can tell because the HN. Received the revelation. I'll say the Isle of Patmos. I don't know why he doesn't just pick up the key. Like, honestly, I have more temptations than Christ. Oh, there he is. Bam! Got you, sucker. What was the name of Nebuchadnezzar's prince gave to Daniel? Belshazzar. What did Mark say Jesus put on the blind man's eyes in Bethsaida? Even though it's supposed to be Bethsaida, it's not. It's Bethsaida. To heal him. I'm gonna say ointment. Spit? Ew! That's disgusting. I need 8 out of 11. Who accompanied Paul after he and Barnabas separated at Antioch? It's either I'm gonna say Timothy. Nope, Silas. I knew it was friggin' Silas. After Jesus was betrayed, who was the chief priest Jesus was taken to? Caiaphas. At what city was Paul stoned and left for dead? Corinth. No, Lystra? As a name for the Sea of Galilee. Isn't the Sea of Tiberias? Yeah. That's the name that the Emperor Tiberius renamed. What was the place called in the judgment hall that Pilate sat? The Pavement. What a terrible name. In the parable of the nobleman, how many pounds had the first servant gained from his 1 pound? 5? 10? Not really. Of the creatures that Ezekiel saw in a vision, which of the following was a face of a creature? I think it was a lion that had eyes all over its body, if it's the vision of heaven. Yeah. What spices did Nicodemus bring to use in burying Jesus? Myrrh and aloes. For how many pieces of silver was Joseph sold into Egypt? 20. Ugh. Yeah, I did terrible on that one. Those questions are as esoteric as they get. Remembering numbers in the Bible, there's about 8 million numbers in the Bible. There's no good way to determine which of the many thousands of numbers written in the Bible are the correct ones. At least they don't ask what passage parts occur in. Which of Laban's flocks and herds were given to Jacob as his pay? which is actually funny because sheep weren't introduced until much later than a lot of the Old Testament. That there's no fossil records of sheep existing, because sheep are actually they're not from doll sheep or whatever. No, not doll sheep. Whatever, the sheep that live in Africa, they're actually not related genetically at all. They're actually related to a sheep that's from Eastern Europe. And that those sheep came in and they were first imported by the Greeks in the Middle Kingdom because the first potteries and drawings of sheep occurred then. It's the same thing as pigs weren't actually added until much later, because pigs came from originally were believed to be from, I think, Malaysia originally, and then China imported them, and China had chickens as well, and chickens weren't imported until pretty late in the kingdom. Actually, the Romans, I think, were the first to do major trade with China and bring chickens. Interesting facts. While walking on water, what caused Peter to be afraid? I'm gonna say the waves. Apparently the wind. He's afraid of the wind. What a fucking pussy. Who offered Peter and John money, thinking he could buy the power to give the gift of the Holy Ghost? I'm going to say the Ethiopian eunuch, Simon. Who accompanied Barnabas after he and Paul separated at Antioch? Silas. What? Oh. It's in the reverse of the last question. Thinking the gods had come down among them, what did the people of Lystra call Barnabas? Probably Mercurius. What? Okay. Jupiter. Who was a centurion of the Italian band who had a vision? Cornelius. Thinking the gods had come down among them, what did the people of Lystra call Paul? Mercurius. Okay. So Paul was called. Okay. What was the second beast like that John saw around the throne of God? Had a face like a man. I remember that. What? No. There's one. A calf. The calf is one of the last ones, isn't it? It's the calf who's brought before... Oh, no, it's the lamb that's brought before slaughter. What did John the Baptist have around his loins? Girdle wool. Leathern? Leathern isn't even a freaking word. Don't worry, devil dude, I'm on your side. Especially if they use words like leathern. Can't even speak proper freaking English. How about we don't know what this is called, so we'll just make up a word for it. Okay, bug, you're pissing me off. You need to go squish.
Keep this up, and you'll soon join me.
In the armor of God, what does the sword represent? Oh god, I have to get a sword. So I guess it's helmet, and then the sword is the last. I think it's the preparation of the gospel of peace. No, the spirit? Really? My spirit is a sword that kills you. How many devils did Jesus cast out of Mary Magdalene? Say 12. Oh, 7. What was the name of the angel who appeared to Zacharias in the temple? Zacharias is a man, so probably Michael. Jibriel again? Really? Apparently Jibriel really gets around. Who is the silversmith that made shrines for the goddess Diana? Well, it can't be Dionysus, because he's pretty much Jesus. Probably it's either Demetrius or Demarius. I'm going to think Demetrius. On what was the temple or brazen sea in the Temple of Solomon mounted? That question makes no sense. On what was the molten or brazen sea in the Temple of Solomon mounted? Blocks of stone. Yeah, because I'm sure oxen can really survive in the sea. In what city was Simon the leper's house? Jerusalem. Bethany, apparently. Who wrote the second epistle to Timothy? Let's say Paul. He liked writing them. How many seats did John see surrounding the throne of God? I think it was 12. 24, apparently. For where your treasure is, there will be your blank also. Desires, probably. No, heart. How many years did Methuselah live? 969. Lol. Those questions were stupid. Where are you? Get back here. It's not like these devils are hard to catch, you just run at them. Where did Jesus tell his disciples about the signs of his coming and the end of the world? On the Mount of Olives. Yep. What is it? Megiddo. Or Megiddo is where it's supposed to start, actually. What was the name of him who sat upon the pale horse? That would be Death. How many years did Jeremiah prophesize that Judah would serve Babylon? 100 years. 70 years. Like, wow. I guess they could only write as many years as they could count at the current time. How many chapters in the second epistle of Peter? I think it's 3. Yeah. What did Haggai exhort? Really? The word is extort. As in E-X-T-O-R-T, not exhort. Extort. As in extortion. Let's say temple. What did the unclean spirit tell Jesus his name was? I want to say I am Legion, but I also want to say I am Multitude. Yeah, I am Legion. When thou art converted, strengthen thy brethren. That's stupid. We gotta go work out GTL. Now that I believe in God, GTL, baby. To whom was Jesus referring when he said, Elias has come already? Elias? You think he'd be saying that because he mentioned Elias. To whom was the water turned into wine first served? The governor of the feast? Wow, way to dick your mother over Jesus. Asshat. Alright, let's try this one more time. Because these questions are just getting a little out there. Squishing all the bugs. Run around and ask Bible questions now.
Keep this up, and you'll soon join me.
What was the vinegar mixed that the soldiers offered Jesus at his crucifixion? See, cider's tough because it could be that. Hemlock wouldn't have been discovered yet because hemlock poison, hemlock trees only really live in the most northern regions of Europe. Gall, which obviously that word isn't correct. I mean, I don't know. I'm gonna say cider. Gall. Apparently, whatever gall is. Luke was an apostle. True. What? Who was struck with leprosy for speaking against her brother Moses? I think it was Miriam. Yeah. During what season of year did Jesus gave the parable? Oh my God. These people can't speak English. During what season of year did Jesus gave the parable of the Good Shepherd? I'm going to say autumn. No, apparently winter. What is the name of the pool near the sheep market? Are you serious? See, there's Bethesda. Bethesda is apparently the pool. How many stars did John see in the beginning of Revelations? That'd be 7 stars. Evil. I thought he was a keeper of sheep, and Cain killed a sheep. After letting them out of prison in Jerusalem, where did the angel tell the apostles to go preach? Let's say Samaria. No, apparently the temple, because that's a good idea. Get arrested, escape from jail, and go to the temple. What crop did Pharaoh see in his dream of Joseph interpreted? Well, let's go back in history, first of all. It's unfortunate that corn is from America. Barley, I believe, is from northern or eastern Europe, or from China. I think it's actually from China. And oats were from Greece and don't grow well in Egypt. It's just a fact. So it would most likely be durum, or can't remember the other one. Oh god, I can't remember. There were 2 grains that were mostly grown in Egypt, and that was pretty much the bulk of their agriculture. Actually, what we thought were wheat plants were actually durums. I believe it's durums, because durum wheat is I think is a crossbreed of wheat and durum. But they're very similar, but I forget what the other one is. I'm pretty sure it's durum. Well, I can't remember off the top of my head. If anyone knows, good luck to you. Well, anyway, this episode's gone on too long, so let's just say oats. Corn! They didn't even know what goddamn corn was. It's an impossibility. Corn was first discovered in America, like tomatoes. Like... And if I'm wrong about corn being there, I highly doubt it was grown in Egypt, for that matter. But I'm pretty sure corn was an American-only crop. Alright, well, that ends another episode of Let's Play the Bible Game. With me, Morak Dias.